What about the Portuguese synagogue, the old Portuguese synagogue
In Lisbon?
yeah, in Manhattan near the park? You
Oh,
know
oh,
which one?
you're talking about the Sherith
Yeah, Sherry
Israel.
Israel, yeah.
They
Those are the words
are
in the song I was singing.
Yes,
Sherry.
they are on the sidelines on this a little bit. They have not been extremely active
They are Sephardic. They are, I mean, Portuguese, you know.
originally.
Yeah.
Now, their membership today apparently is heavily German Jewish of origin.
Is that right? Wow.
Yeah, although the rites, the ritual in the synagogue itself is still very much the traditional old liturgy.
I saw it. I was there.
It's a very impressive service.
They were wearing the top hats and.
Yeah, yeah. But the membership hasn't kept up, or the membership has dissipated. You see, the original Sephardim that came to this country, the earliest one, 1654, the first wave that came from Recife, and the first Jews before the revolution were all the Sephardic Jews from Spain and Portugal, the ones who had left and were still Jews, or the ones who had converted and had quickly come back to Judaism in the early years as soon as they got away from the Inquisition. Those have largely assimilated into the general population. This is true of the second wave that came from the Ottoman Empire at the beginning of the 20th century and settled in places like Seattle. They have largely filtered out into mainstream suburban congregations. You see them here and there.
Again, can you give us some perspective of the numbers, the quantities, like in the Argentina today? What do you have any inkling of how many, what proportion of that population is converso?
No, but we do in Brazil because somebody did a doctoral dissertation in Brazil, and Brazil is in the millions.
In the millions.
But it doesn't mean that a fraction of them will be interested.
Yeah.
But I think that were the Jewish world to make more of an outreach to say, you know, we welcome you, we know you're out there, and anytime you feel so inclined, we want you to know that you will get a real big welcome.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not doing that yet.
Would they fare better in Israel?
Israel is on the fence on that. There's been a lot of discussion now about whether and what they should do. They have an ulpan in Spanish. They've started that the last couple of years. The debate is going on as to whether they can create, with full halakha approved, if you will, a certificate or a program of return, so that these people will be given the dignity of saying, yes, we acknowledge the fact that you may be of Jewish ancestry and we want you back. It doesn't mean that they won't have to go through a lot of the same rituals or education, but they never said that they wouldn't. They just don't want to be considered total outsiders.
I see. So it's a communication thing. In other words, they want to feel the warmth that they're welcome.
It's more than a communication thing. It's a thing that I think that the organized Jewish world is just going to have to get out there and say, we need programs. And we have to give leadership to the local rabbi who really perhaps doesn't have the background to be able to do what is right by these people.
Okay, I'm a local rabbi. What can I do to improve my,
I think to
stance?
learn that they're out there, to understand and sensitize yourself to their needs, to find out where materials might be available that you could use to help them in their journey back to Judaism.
Where are these people here? We're in Fairfield County.
Oh, they are
Connecticut.
walking into synagogues all over the place, even here.
Yeah.
The last time I heard from one here was in Southbury.
Okay.
A Brazilian a family had come to the door of the rabbi of the synagogue in Southbury. That's the most recent one.
Well, if you meet anybody that needs a rabbi, that's is sensitive to the issue, you could tell them that I interviewed you.
I'd be delighted.
And we're a nice congregation in South Israel in Newtown, and I don't speak Spanish. My sister does. I once upon a time worked for the Cuban Hebrew congregation down in Miami, so I'm familiar with that part. I know that they have some Sephardic congregation in Miami, Temple Moises, and then there's two others with Ashkenazic Jews, Spanish-speaking from Cuba. But we'd certainly be interested. And if they don't like organized religion, tell them we're very disorganized.
Oh, I don't think they're against that. I think they just want to feel more welcome.
Yes. That's very, very interesting. Now, I just want to mention that several of your books have won very high awards. Going back to the original book that we had interviewed you last week about, the the Russian dance. Tell us about what kind of recognition that you were able to
Yes,
receive
that
for
got
this.
2 awards. One as the best history biography book for 2005 from the National Federation of Press Women, and the Mark Twain Award from the Connecticut Press Club. And this one, which is the story of the most famous conversa of them all, Donna Gracia Nassi, who was in the Renaissance one of the greatest bankers.
Oh yeah, that's the woman who defied
Kings.
kings, and we'll
Yes.
get a picture of that inside.
Yes.
This was your most popular book.
That was a finalist in the National Jewish Book Awards, and it won some other honors as well. So that is probably one of the most definitive books on her. And again, there she was born as a forced convert, eventually came back to Judaism, but has been largely overlooked by the Jewish world. Of course, she has.
Well, you managed to get right into the nook there. That's been neglected, and you're doing very important work. I've been following your writing for quite some time, and I've just always had in mind to have you here, and it's such a pleasure having you.
Thank you very much, and I really do try to do it by the same token on the lecture circuit, because I think the more you can get out to the congregations and talk about these things, the better.
Oh yes, yes. We've been speaking with Andree Brooks, very, very talented writer. She was a newspaper reporter for the New York Times for 18 years, and she's authored some very successful books. And once again, we thank Andree Brooks for being with us here at Rabbi Rock.
Thank you.
Shalom. Shalom.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, El Kodesh. Hallelujah, Bekirauzo. Hallelujah, Bigvorotav. Hallelujah, Korov Gedulah. Hallelujah, 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 beteka shofar. Hallelujah, 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 b'nei b'chinah. Hallelujah, 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 בתוך עמו